I recently released a video about toxicity, and yes, I did go through most of the comments. A lot of people expressed their support and a few did not, but that's to be expected. However, there was a recurring theme, especially amongst women, that they experience toxicity based solely on their gender. Hi guys, this is Egwick, and today we're answering the question, how much toxicity do females actually experience? If you like this vid, please consider subscribing to the channel. It's free and you can always unsubscribe at any time.
Also, he'll be live on Twitch almost every day at 8 PM GMT plus 8, and we'd love to have you.
First, let me explain how I got the data. For this informal experiment, I gathered 30 players, 10 from each region. They were all around Iron to Gold and they were tasked to play 4 solo queue competitive games, making it a grand total of 120 games. After each game, they had to rate the level of toxicity on a scale from 1 to 10, as well as write down comments about what was being said. The link to the spreadsheet will be down below so you guys can make your own conclusions. I'd like to take this time to thank everyone who participated and responded. The video was supposed to come out way earlier, but there was an influx of ghosters, which is why it's so late. First, let's compare the toxicity rate across regions. Asia is once again the least toxic region. I say once again because I previously covered toxicity in regions but only used male participants. You can find that video in the description below. Anyway, Asia has the lowest rate of toxicity per game towards women at 30%. Meanwhile, NA came in at 47.5% and EU came in at 50%. This means that there was a toxic player in half the games on EU servers. This is a bit surprising as I initially thought that NA would top the charts once again. Next, as we all know, the outcome of a game can affect toxicity. In Asia, 35% of losses had a toxic player compared to 26% of wins. This is only around a 10% change, which, as you'll find out, is relatively small compared to the other two regions. In EU, 64% of losses had a toxic player, while 42% of wins had one. That's around a 20% change. And last but not the least, in NA, 78% of losses had a toxic player, while only 30% of wins had one. That's a whopping 48% change. This shows that Asia and EU players are less likely to blame women for their losses, seeing as though the change isn't as large. They aren't as affected by game result. However, players from NA will spike up in toxicity if they're losing and there is a woman on their team. Moving on, because I had players rate their experiences from 1 to 10, we can determine how bad the toxicity is per region. Keep in mind, this is just an informal experiment and the ratings given are purely subjective. Anyway, Asia once again came in last with the average of 2.5, then EU with 3.6, and then NA with 3.75. I also wanted to show the quote-unquote full-blown toxic encounters per region. These are games that are an 8 and above on the toxicity scale. Asia had 4, while both NA and EU came in at 6 full-blown encounters. As I went through the notes made by the participants, common themes started popping up. For one, players love to ask for socials like Instagram and Snapchat accounts. There were 17 instances of this, spread across all regions. Next, there were 6 instances where women were told that they should go back to the kitchen or belong in the kitchen. Notably, this only happened on NA and EU servers, which begs the question if it has something to do with culture. Either way, I'm happy that Asian servers were spared from this. Other common themes include asking for photos, calling players fat or assuming their appearance, and rapidly spamming party invites during or after matches. One of the weirder things that happened was some random guy claiming that a participant was his girlfriend while revealing their locations and purposely throwing the game. There are a lot more one-off encounters and I encourage you to check the spreadsheet if you want to see more. With everything that's been going on, it's clear that a lot of women don't feel safe in gaming. From being harassed because of their gender, to being blamed for everything, it's really a horrible experience. When compared with the male-only video, females experience 10 to 15% more toxicity depending on their region, but almost all experiences had something to do with their gender. I hope that things change soon. If anything, I hope this video sheds light on the challenges that women face in gaming and how it's so much harder to be a woman trying to play games. Before I end, I'd like to thank the volunteers once again. This video would not have been possible without you, and I really appreciate your time and effort. Anyway, that's it for now. If you guys have any questions or comments about the topic, I'd love to hear them down below. This is Egwick, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.